Alright, so the wolves are gonna jump out and start attacking. Stuff goes good, they run. Alright, so we might have to switch up what I was going on with. I might have to put some sheep down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw some sheep down. Running out of room. Could just get rid of the cart and bull altogether. But then I would lose the amulet story. So I may not do that. May delete sacks of stuff. I don't know, I've run out of room. Ow. Alright, let's open this up again. Ow. Things are popping funny. Alright. Oh, I need to add the doggy to this encounter. There we go. He's friendly. And now I need to add a bunch of sheep. The dog you'd think would be next to the sheep. Let's put him back here because he's looking for it. You were up here. Keeping an eye. No, I'll keep you here. Keep you there, okay. Counter creatures. Creatures are easier to type in sheep. Bunch of sheep down. Sheep. Sheep. Sheep, sheep. 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 Bunch of sheep, so the wolves are gonna come in. Oh, these are without encounter. Sheep. Huh. They're gonna remain neutral. I don't think I need that. See what happens there. So is this... This is where I need to figure out how encounters work. Because, is this what happens when the encounter starts? Okay, so we got a bunch of sheep here. See? What's gonna happen is... the wolves come in. They're mostly just coming here to take those sheep. Once the fight is over, assuming there was forthcoming the astral raid in the Welton. How many wolves do I have? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're just coming for the sheep, so let's up the wolf count a move him? I think I accidentally moved him. Okay, so that's good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Berserker, 2 melees, 2 warriors, bomber, melee. Alright, the bombers are gonna go for the sheep. Melee are gonna go whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gotta keep count of what's going on here too. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 people with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheep. So 5 wolves are gonna disappear with sheep. Right, sound okay? Let's make sure that they have stuff that's not extra. Basic is fine. Melee. Bomber. Let's move bomber up here. Don't want up too close to the entry. Okay, bomber. There's one here. Is that the melee one? Basic. Here. Basic. Melee. Bomber. Warrior. Warrior. Melee. Melee. Bomber. Berserker. So there are 2 next to each other. There's 2 warriors next to each other. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Come in here. That sounds good enough. And if I have to delete some, I can delete some. Let's modify the counters here. Did they all get added? Oh, that's dope. Okay. Save. Gotta check the what's going on here real quick. Every time I switch between games, sometimes it blacks out. Looks like it's still running. It's good. Okay. Good. If you're here lurking around, feel free to say hey. I'd like to interact with you guys. And I think we're good here. Let's do save. Let's exit out of here, not here. View map. Okay. Now, what happens next? The story is. Alright, once they steal the sheep, they're just gonna book it. Cool. The wolves actually don't want to fight. They're here to take the sheep. But they'll fight if they have to get those sheep. Half of them will keep the shepherds distracted while the rest pick off sheep and retreat to the west. They will not try to kill the shepherds, but will instead bite at their arms and legs. When the players arrive on the scene, the wolves may test their strength with a couple rounds of combat, but will quickly retreat into the woods if it appears they are outmatched. I may up the number of sheep, so it's obvious that they're there to take the sheep and not fight. How many sheep did I have? 5. Let's get another ram. Delete. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. That's a good number of sheep. Alright. Now what's gonna happen is when the players arrive, they fight, whatever. And then after the fight, the farmers are gonna thank them. Sorry, I'm being quiet. So, one of the buddies that are gonna be playing the campaign isn't gonna hear spoilers. So, what's gonna happen here is when they're on the way to Welton, they can ask for what's been going on, and pretty much they say it all happened when the sorcerer disappeared. Okay, so from the actual campaign, it says, of course, all this started when the sorcerer, Father Maricuson's brother, upped and disappeared. Not that I hear word against him, of course, but it makes you think, don't it? Next one. First sign something out of the unusual was going on came when the Petersons, up on Sparks Hill, had a dozen sheep snatched from inside a barn. Their boy got thrashed at something awful for failing to close it, but a week later the exact same happened, even though old Peterson locked up himself. Wheatley, who sells pots, pans, and ointments here about, was chased off his cart by a pack of wolves, so says they appeared from the trees as if by magic. Where is all this going to be happening? Oh, okay. Once the fight is over and we ask for aid returning to Welton, they are more happy to share local gossip. So this is the gossip that happens in Welton itself. Okay. Old shepherd named Grimstone up Carnby Way was watching his flock when he heard calling from the trees begging for help. Well, he runs off to check what was wrong, but he couldn't find so much as a gnome out there. While he was away, guess what? A dozen sheep had just up and disappeared. Months ago, a band of blokes from the village went out to hunt the wolves, track them down back to their den, but as soon as they were in the darkest part of the woods, they were ambushed. I wasn't there myself, but some of them tell of booming thunder, others of bursts of fire sound like an unholy mess. Anyway, a halfling named Featherrock. Featherrock is apparently important. His name is Bolden. Decent shepherd was hurt real bad in the fight. All the others, though, thought he was dead. But next morning, he found dumped in Wesley's doorstep near the woods. Poor man ain't been the same since. Tells wild tales of voices in the night, cracked in the head, they say. Okay. That was the gossip. Village people. Welton sits on the banks of a slow-moving river, with gentle hills rising upon each side. The houses. Okay, this is just a description, because mine looks. Oh, I have to design Welton. That might have to happen. Yep. Okay. This is explaining the village. Observant characters will notice that there are more people idling in the streets than you may expect at this time of year, and many appear to be openly concerned and may be hungry or worried about food. Visually heavy traffic and the impact of many hooves have reduced the dirt streets and muddy quagmires in places gross. The village offers little beyond a small general store and vitality, or virtually nothing of interest to outsiders other than the Shepherd's Crook, which happens to be hosting both a village council meeting. It is also home to a halfling named Willen Featherrock, a traumatized victim of wolf attack. Okay. That goes on to explain Shepherd's Crook. Council meeting, as well as Featherrock's room. Then, I think that just. I gotta read this in more detail. But mostly, it's explaining what's gonna be happening. Essentially, the aim of the scene is to have the party find their way to the wolf's lair. There's no prescribed way for them to do this, so allow them to be as inventive as possible. The lair is in the hollow just to the other side of the woods that cover the hillside of the west of the Welton. If the party are floundering, coral represents a good route for passing on ideas. People suggest that if they are confident in their tracking ability, the party may wish to simply head out to the western woods and try to pick up a trail there. If they're interested in luring wolves out, he will instead offer his own flock as bait. Should the party lack a traffic proficient in survival who reluctantly volunteer his own services. Should the party set a bait, 6 wolves will attack using the same combat tactics used in scene 1. If the party try and talk to them, the wolves may respond with a few words before fleeing in confusion. Eventually the party should end up making a trek into the woods, which are thick and clogged with undergrowth. The smell of earth and moss fills the air, and the passage of small animals creates a constant rustle in the bushes. Occasionally the fowl of lone wolf echoes eerily from the west across the village. It takes probably 4 hours of the walking pace. Alright, so you... Oh, sorry. Oh, all sorts of yawny right now. So we got some skill checks going on how to track them. That's going to be up to my discretion. They have a different scene here called the Albert's Picnic. The scene is not strictly necessary for advancing the plot. It is used to add a little more combat or depth, especially if the party did not have any particularly meaningful encounters in scene 3. After 2 hours traveling through the dense undergrowth of the western woods, the party begins to hear the sounds of snapping twigs and rustling leaves. Something big is making its way toward them. Unless they take immediate steps to hide, an owl bear crashes through the bushes and sights them. Even at a glance, the party can tell that it is limping thin and appears to be nursing several barely healed wounds clotted with old black blood. Despite its injuries, the massive beast will charge the party, letting out a deafening hoot as it does so. I don't think there's any owl bears in this game. Let's see. Let's do owl. There's a war owl, that's awesome. A cursed chicken. Goose deer. Alright, so since we don't have owl bears, we need something to come running through. So we want wild. It might have to just be a bear. Unless there's something in here. Yeah, it's gonna have to be just a bear. Shark! Okay. It'll just have to be a bear, and I'll just say it's an owl bear. Or there's monsters. Whoa! That's a big size crunchy. Yeah, these are all just his different forms. Whoa. Had not seen that one yet. Could always use this too. Just be like blurb. Animal temple. These are interesting. Gross. He's cool. Dramatic. Whoa! Check it out, it's a tree. Apparently you can interact with it. Gubbins. Astral Dragon. Whoa! So cool! Battle Source Puppet. Creepy. These may be our gnomes. Hee. A bear. A bone smasher. Burning winch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Clay protector. Condor. Tiny Dallas the hammer. Whoa! Demon of fear. Oh, you're tiny. Formating Dominator. What? Haven't made it very far in the game. I'm wondering if a lot of these are actually in the game, and hopefully I'm not getting myself Spoilers, fluorescent voidling. That's cool looking. Oh, there's trolls. Look at him. Blurp, blurp. A friendly troll. Frost dragon. So cool. Drill worm. Oh, that's I fought one of them before. Giant. Goblin catapult. Dope. It's funny. Imp. Hungry flower. Harbinger of doom. Kraken. What the? Doesn't even load. That's craziness. A lot of these are gigantic. Lesser demon. Living statue. That actually might be super useful to have at some point. I'll have to put it in the actual editor though to bring it down in size. Matron of Agony. He's like an hired maiden with a ball and chain and a mean troll. Is he bigger than the other ones? Meat abomination. A meat golem. Meat golem thug. He's a sword sticking in him. Cool. Maybe I can change name. Echo Wing. A lot of these have the same kind of look here. Oil boss. Nightmarish. Paincaster. Orc. Oh, I like him. You. Placeholder stat entry. What? Oh, is that like where they can reassign their stuff? Respec, whatever. Poison struck. Rabid lupine horror. Why don't you look any different? Neither wolves. You have different skills. No. Okay. That might be the other wolf that we're gonna see later. Shadow dragon. Shane. What is that? Whoa. Delete. Slain the winter dragon. He's awesome. Slippery voidling. They're adorable. Source tight. Sports zombie. The shallow man. Look at him. Burp. Love him. He might be. Whoa, I'm glad there's multiple of them. He might be the guy that does the side quest I have for having an eating contest. That'd be fun. Kinda wanna see what they all look like. Troll with fez. He's dapper. Undead living or a remarkable citizen or civilian. Apparent for work. Oh, he's cool. Yeah, this guy's awesome. Weaponized monk. Wind-up toy. Huh. What? Is that not all of them? That was just what's in the campaign. I think I've seen these. Oh, it just breaks him up. Cool. He's cool. Oozes. Bewitched puppet. Woodwoken. I already sell those. Okay. Spent too much time on that I actually don't remember what I was leaving off on. I added sheep. That's what I did save. And then I was reading what the story is going to be doing. They found an owl bear. It's probably just going to be a bear. I didn't see anything that was worth being owl bearly. The creature's many injuries have reduced its maximum hit points to 40, but otherwise it still operates at full effectiveness. Mighty owlbear is starving and desperate. It will charge at the easiest target it can find and will fight until it is brought down. It will not retreat. Should the party kill the owlbear, they will be able to tell that the beast's prior injuries were caused by sharp jaws. That'll confirm that these were indeed caused by wolves, and that the wounds appear to be a couple of weeks old. Interestingly, there are also scorch marks on the creature's fur. Okay. Anybody proficient with the nature, blah 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 blah. It's very rare for wolves to challenge owlbears. If the encounter occurred during the daytime, you'll also know that owlbears are nocturnal predators and shouldn't be out in sunlight. That's good. I have to make a big old map for this. I might switch to OBS sharing so you guys can see what I'm actually looking at. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do... Here you go. Nope. There. Let me make that map. And so, save Wolf Ambush, that's where I'm coming from. Welton's the town. Wesley's farm. That's something I probably may have skipped over in reading. And Wolf's Den is all the way at the end there to the forest. Okay. Here we go. The den's denizens. Wolves have made their den in a cave system of the western edge of the woods. In the tree line is possible to see a cave entrance, blah 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 blah. Milling around the area are 6 wolves. Some sat there around the fire, some are seemingly working on improving the fence, and some are in the process of tearing a sheep carcass apart. Many of the wolves appear to be wearing strips of brightly colored cloth, or their decorations tied about limbs or their necks. The entire scene seems remarkably peaceful. Unorganized for a wolf den, the wolves have set up tripwires on the edge of the tree line, requiring stuff to check the spot. If the players trigger these, they set off bone noisemakers. There's a back door. Here's the wolf den. Inside the cave. The cave's complex is made of a large central chamber and 3 smaller subchambers. The central chamber is a pack's main living and sleeping area. There are piles of bones at the southern corner of the floor. It's dotted with large piles of leaves and cloth that appear to be very rudimentary beds. Crude depictions of thick wolves drawn upon the wall in charcoal and white ash. While the player didn't notice that the series of images appear to be fights with humans who share gifts with the wolves before disappearing. Wait a minute. Allow the player to notice that the series of images appear to depict the pack's fight with a human who shares gifts with the wolves before disappearing. That must be like the master or the son of the sorcerer guy. The western subchamber functions as a storeroom for both goods. Many of the stolen sheep, bags containing thick leather, and homespun wool are kept there. Other interesting items picked up the wolves during their raids: a couple of knives, a shovel, other mundane equipment piled up against a wall. Further inside, the wolves have constructed a crude but effective fence out of what happens to be fallen branches, some of which have been shaped by tools. The noise of bleeding is constant and very loud. The central subchamber acts as nursery for the backstrong pups. Half a dozen young wolves sleep here when they aren't playing outside, and this is where they are kept. If fights break out, the pair of wolves are set to guard the young, who are just learning how to talk, and will defend them to their deaths. In the event that fight breaks out, use the cat for the wolf pups. The eastern subchamber is used as a meeting room by the pack leadership. It is the only chamber containing fire, as the smoke is able to escape through a hole in the cave, but it's otherwise empty. Okay. Big bad wolves. Here we go. Should the wolves become aware of the party for any reason, triggering the noisemakers' failed stealth checks, or simple walking out into the hollow, they will react with panic, letting out high-pitched howls. One of the wolves will yell "Hunters" in guttural growl in common. Unless the party makes any moves to defuse the situation, the wolves will attack with a fierce determination if the battle is taking place. In front of the cave, Flame and Bolt will emerge from their den after a one-bolt round. They will be accompanied by 4 more wolves. They appear to have scraps of crude leather armor tied around their bodies, giving them +1 bonus to AC. The alpha pair will yell exhortations to their fellow wolves, with Flame encouraging them to kill the hunters and Bolt telling them to protect the pack and not to let them harm the pups. All the wolves will move to attack the party, but after either one of the following occurs, Bolt will let out a thunderous roar, bellowing that the battle is not helping either party. 4 wolves are killed. Flame or Bolt are brought down to less than half HP. A player's character is reduced to 0 HP. It is entirely up to the party whether they listen to him or not. Should they ignore him, the wolves continue to fight to the death. The wolves are intelligent and will make advantage of their pack tactics. Take advantage of the pack tactics ability as much as possible. They will also use their speed to outflank the party and target poorly armored caster trying to hide in the black lines. Bamboo will lead the attack on the front lines and use their breath attacks wherever possible. Will make sure his attacks never harm one of his allies, while Flame won't mind catching one or 2 of his wolves if it means blasting the entire party. Alright, they can talk about it, and that's where the story comes in. They can talk. Let's read it. Sounds interesting. It's good to get my mind in the game here. Should the party be willing to talk to the wolves, Bolt will be more than happy to negotiate an end to any fighting. He will explain that the pack became intelligent after attacking a man, the sorcerer Alexei Merrickson, who was trespassing on their territory. The memories of the fight are hazing, but they have a flash of bright light, and when they awoke, the Lightbringer, as they call him, was gone. But the wolves found their minds working much faster than before. Almost instantly, they found their way able to talk. Their memories were filled with strange images and information that appeared to them in dreams. The pack has been using its newfound abilities to boost its quality of life. Pups won't risk starvation in the winter thanks to their herd of shape, while their elderly won't have to be left behind when no longer able to hunt. They drove off the owl bear that had been plaguing the woods for years and made their home in its den. Throughout any conversation, Flame will chime in with provocative, angry comments, generally concerning her wish to punish and kill humans and other races, as this land is theirs by right. Bolt does not care for the people of Walton, who have killed his kind indiscriminately for many years. However, he is willing to at least try and come to a settlement with them, suggesting that they be allowed control of the woods and the inhabited lands to the west, in return for keeping the area free of other predators and not raiding themselves. Sounds like a fair agreement. Barring that, he is willing to simply move the pack away to a more remote location, provided that the party swear by all their gods not to tell people what they saw. Should it become apparent that the deal is forthcoming, Flame will accuse Bolt of cowardice and betrayal and attack him from behind. This will badly injure him, taking him out of the fight. All the remaining armored wolves will join her in a final desperate attack on the party, while the others will fall back in confusion and fear. Alright, so I need to have some special wolves. So we're gonna have to come up with some names for settling the scores. There are 2 main ways for the adventure to conclude depending on the party's previous actions. Sometimes working out what happens next may require a degree of improvisation of the DM. Alright, the party can refuse to negotiate, which will wolves will be dead. In this case, the party will have to build the terms of the contract with Bolton Village. Should they explore the cave, they will encounter dozens of pups being guarded by a pair of desperate wolves who beg to be allowed to leave, promising they will never come back to the area if the pups are threatened. The adult wolves will fight to the death, screaming that their young charges. Their young charges. This would be should? Screaming that their young charges should flee into the woods. The party negotiate with wolves. If the party is willing to negotiate with Bolt, they may be able to come to a sort of peaceful accord with him once Flame has been defeated. Bolt will be understandably angry about any wolves killed by the party, but recognizes that they will not be able to fight the folk of Walton. forever and is willing to negotiate along the terms mentioned in Scene 5. If the wolves agree to leave the area entirely, the party will be able to return to Wilton and collect their reward. If they lie, claim the wolves were wiped out, they will have to make a charisma check. Blah 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 blah. However, if the party agree to a more complicated relationship, they will need to present their offer to the village council. Father Marrickson is keen on coming to a settlement. Even if he believes the wolves killed his brother, as his quarrel, however, tell us, then much of the rest of the council will need convincing. How the party's able to do this is their choice. Alright, so that's the story. Oh, here's information on the characters. That's cool. I have to use that in the story too. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. I'm actually kind of falling asleep again, which is crazy. I had a long nap. Maybe that's why I'm tired. Okay, so I have a lot coming up ahead. I need to design this whole map. Or at least part of it. So I need to figure out what Wesley's farm is first. It's probably up in here. There's something I missed. Coming in here, we're gonna have to have a place where an owlbear charges and attacks. And then, actually, I can make the map very large and just filled with forest. And they can just kind of patrol and walk around. Yeah, I might do that until one of the party members actually stumbles across the wolves itself. And be able to drop some hints and stuff along the way. Make them do roll checks or something, see if they can find their way. That sounds pretty decent. I might do that. But I might do that at another time. I'm actually very tired right now. Sorry. It's just kind of a lame stream, but I wanted to try to do something, but it's not working right now. Kind of sleepies. I'm a sleepy sheepy. Haha, it's because I've been doing so much sheeps. And I was kind of hoping to do a test encounter with some friends. That's interesting. Oh, you know what? There's no forest over here. I'm gonna have to edit the map because there needs to be forest here in order for it to make sense. Why are we being attacked by wolves, right? So let's actually show off the ink thing that I've been using. Garnet, here we go. So let's build some little forest here. How big is this tree? She's a little tiny baby forest. Little baby forest. Happy trees full of eyebrows here. Delete. Alright. Just a little tiny baby forest. There we go. Fix that. Alright, time to zoom in. Grab this again. Grab this again. Screw it, just delete them both. Let's do be slightly bigger. You. This. Let me find one of you. Can I fit it anywhere? Oh. slightly better. Let's go back to 100. Let's do a save. Okay, so we're gonna have to move some pins around in the actual game, but that's okay. So let's save this to map. Gonna edit it again because I gotta do this all over again. Like I've done every time. I'll open map. Picture size 687 100. Let's copy this, and this is a bad way to do it, but I'm lazy, so we're doing it this way. Paste. I'm just gonna resize it to fit, so I don't have to redo the whole reshadow thing. Which actually isn't that difficult, but I don't care to try to get it exact again. There. D. Oh, not quite done. What is with the bottom of this map? That. Is that how it looks on my screen? Yep, it is. Okay. It's not a big deal. I thought I had moved something incorrectly. Okay. So that's our map. Save it. Save and export version of it as JPEG. New, save, yes, yes. Cancel. Save as JPEG. New, yes. There it is. Quality 100. Alright, cool. Save that. Change map image. Here we go. Okay, so we need to move the encounter to be about here. That's fine. That's good. Okay, then we can put a pin here. To be like something. This is where the wolf's den is gonna appear. I don't think there's any caves or something in that editor here. Let me check. Objects. Nah, nothing worth using anyway. This is an awesome tool by Incarnate. Highly recommend. Farmstead encounter. Alright. I'm gonna have to be replacing this every now and then too, because I have to be renaming some of this. So if I do put that back, okay. Need a legend of that, and B1 Stacy Black is Belton. Farmstead. Something like this, right? And top shadow. Hey, look, it already saved it. Perfect. Farmstead. Just gonna do that. I'm not even gonna bother importing it again in case things have to change up. But that works. That works. What have we got going on here? Oh no. Phone's freaking out. Not that button. Alright, yeah. I think I'm gonna turn it in a little early. Sorry, this stream was very boring and tiring. But I'm gonna leave it off here. Hopefully I'll be able to put in some more time here coming up to make sure we got stuff going on and ready for my players. And maybe I can get some player testing coming in on some sort of garbage campaign that I just throw together just to learn the mechanics of GM mode while we're actually playing it. Make sure I understand how encounters work and stuff, because I don't want my people accidentally getting attacked by people they're not supposed to and vice versa. But if you liked it, remember to check me out on Twitter and YouTube and here on Twitch. Give me a follow. I would appreciate it. This time actually won't have any copyrighted stuff because I forgot to even turn on music. Maybe that's why I'm so tired. Didn't have anything to motivate me. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this, guess I'll catch you another time. I don't have any really set schedule, so Sundays I generally try to do midday kind of stream. Fortunately, didn't do an actual gameplay stream. Buddy today was taking a nap. But oh no, my team lost today. Bummer. That's what happens when you miss 3 field goals. Anyway, Vaesive, thanks for tuning in with me. Remember to like, subscribe, comment if you so desire. That's my outro for YouTube. Man, I'm tired. I shouldn't be doing this. But more importantly, if you take anything from this, remember to spay and neuter your pets, adopt, don't shop, donate to a rescue if you can afford it, or open up your house up to the possibility of fostering. It's a very rewarding experience and helps those animals and rescues out that are very much in need. Anyway, I'm Vaesive. Thanks for tuning in with me, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.